A student asked me today if it's possible to learn DJing, get started DJing on just DJ software, just something running on your laptop or your iPad, maybe your tablet, your Android phone, whatever, with no hardware, no controllers, nothing else plugged into it, just a piece of software. And so we're going to look at that question today. I'll tell you the pros and cons of approaching DJing that way as a beginner. You know, it's how most people start nowadays. So it's either you've got no money to buy anything else, you just download an app and start to get hooked, or you start questioning, why do I really need hardware? I'm having so much fun and it sounds so good without any hardware, just using my phone or whatever, then why do I actually need anything else? Or it could just be that you want to keep things simple. You don't want all the expense and the inconvenience of plugging all this stuff together because maybe you're on the move a lot or whatever. There's lots of reasons why people might decide that they don't want to go any further than just using a piece of DJ software. So the piece of software most people tend to find and use, if this is their approach, is a piece of software called DJ Pro, DJAY Pro. And the reason for that is that they are the one you'll find at the top of the list in the app stores because they're the most popular, just to quickly grab on your phone or whatever, but it's also on laptop and Windows. So generally people are saying, can I use DJ Pro? Although there are other DJ platforms out there. Most of them are designed to work first and foremost with controllers. So is it okay to learn DJing on just software? Well, the answer is yes, it is. It's all about music selection. DJing has always been all about music selection. It's about having a great taste in music and about really wanting to share the music you love with other people. And you can DJ fine from just a phone or just a tablet or just a laptop, even with nothing else doing that. You can get the music in the right order. And the tools that are built into the software nowadays are very, very good at helping you to mix it. You know, the manufacturers have spent a long time making sure that it's very easy, just with a touch screen or a keyboard or whatever, to make stuff sound really, really good. It's very fast, it's very easy. And there's more DJs than you actually think who are DJing this way. So there's what I call the Winamp crew, right? So these are the old guys, normally guys, but old girls as well, who have always DJed on digital gear ever since Winamp on Windows was the first, or one of the very first pieces of software that let you get MP3s and play them. And it was like alchemy. Wow, no CDs, no vinyl. And there have been and still are very happy just to hit play on Winamp. Sometimes they have two instances of it open on the same computer, just loading on one, playing on the other. Hey, you do you. Hospitality DJs, right? DJs in hotels and venues where it's not really about dancing, it's just about providing the music track after track. No real need. A lot of DJs in those circumstances don't see a need for this. Band DJs. I saw the Prodigy's DJ, no less, in the audio booth halfway back in the, you know, where they have the mixing desk in gigs at Glastonbury, sat there with an open laptop and a copy of this exact piece of software, Algorithms DJ Pro, quite happily programming the music before the Prodigy, one of the biggest dance acts of all time, came on the stage. And people who don't think they're DJs, you know, and this is one of the biggest growing areas now. DJing has gone from being this kind of pretty niche thing that you did with home-built equipment in the corner of a dusty old hall, right? And everyone else ignored you. You were just there to play the music, right? That's what it was when I was growing up. To being this wide thing now that can be everything, from making great little transitions that you show off on social media, through to playing at festivals and being a bona fide DJ producer, through to being a resident, to being everything else in between, right? So, you know, in that wide church of DJing, there's plenty of instances where people have just drifted into it and they don't know what a DJ is meant to do or the kind of gear a DJ is meant to use. They're just using what they've always used. And that's absolutely fine. So the borders are breaking down at the edges around this thing called DJing, and it's becoming more acceptable to do whichever damn way you want. So look, all those reasons say, yes, it's okay to DJ on just your laptop, and we'll fully get behind anyone doing that. I've seen some wonderful DJ sets and some great inventiveness going on with literally a laptop, a tablet, a phone, and a piece of DJ software and nothing else. So what about the cons of DJing with just software? Well, it's not how most people DJ. DJing tends to require you to have four things. you need at least 2 music sources, right? So you've got something to mix into the other one. You've got to have a way of mixing them together, or at least switching between them. Now, software can give you that. But you then also have to have some speakers that the audience can hear, and some headphones so you can hear the thing that they aren't hearing, or the things that they aren't hearing. So you can get them ready, you can test out ideas in your head, and when you're ready, you can share it with the world. Now, slowly that's not becoming essential, because as I say, the tools are so good nowadays that they can do a lot of that stuff for you, and you can be pretty sure when you hit play it's all going to sound good. But you know, that's what DJing still is for most people, those 4 things: headphones, speakers, 2 spinny things, and something to mix them together with. And you can't get all of that from just a phone without starting to add things to it. You've got to add extra accessories to get the headphones separate from the speakers, for instance. And when you start doing that, a nice, simple beginner DJ controller has got all that stuff built in, and it's got so much more as well. So what more does it have? Well, the big thing, of course, is the jog wheels, which are the equivalent of platters, which are the equivalent of the vinyl turntables of old. What they give you is the ability to beat mix. Now, you don't, again, need this nowadays because the tools are very good. But if you want to be able to DJ seriously on any equipment that you arrive at, because you've been asked to do something and there's the gear, get used to it. You better learn how to do this, because you can never be sure that the gear that you're asked to play on is going to have the stuff that your software has. So it's not a very transferable skill when you learn on just software. It's something that is going to be pretty specific to that piece of software you've learned. And so I'd argue it's better to learn DJing properly from the ground up, learning some essential skills on very basic equipment, but that is the kind of thing which you're going to find in all the systems. And that involves jog wheels. It involves being able to learn the basics of timing and manual beat mixing and all that stuff. And you know, finally, it's not actually that much fun to DJ on just a phone screen or just a tablet or even just a laptop. You know, keyboards, touch screens, they're not designed for the visceral what it is to be a DJ. It's quite nice to have your hands on jog wheels and to have your hands on a mixer, just like, you know, cycling a bicycle is more fun than playing a video game where you're cycling a bike. You know, ultimately DJing is a physical thing. You do it with your hands. It's a craft, and crafts tend to be more fun when you're doing them with the equipment that they came from. Ultimately, software is just a copy of that equipment put in a very clever way inside your phone or your tablet or whatever. The key thing here is start with whatever you want. It's what comes out of those speakers that's really important. And most people do not care how you're getting that sound to come out of the speakers. There is no right or wrong way of DJing nowadays, as I touched on earlier. You know, the gear, then the music, and then the mixing. In other words, what you do with the music on the gear. So the gear could be software, but those 3 things, software or gear, music and mixing, they only lead to one thing, which is performing. Performing is the point where you're actually doing this thing called DJing. Until then, you've just been messing around. Till then, you've just been getting technical stuff right, collecting great music and learning how to get those things to work together. Until that performing stage, you're not actually DJing, because DJing is about playing the right music for the people in front of you right now, period. The right music for the people in front of you right now. You can do that from your phone, you can do that from your tablet, you can do that from your laptop, you can do that from a controller, you can do that from big standalone gear, and you can do that from pro club DJ gear. Your audience don't care, but the big mistake that you will make if you fret too much about those early things, if you fret too much about collecting all the music in the world or having the best DJ gear in the world or learning every single mixing skill in the world, is that you never actually get to the performing bit, and that's the start line. That isn't the goal. That's where you start to learn about DJing, when you start doing this in front of other people. So my advice, to get back to the question, is it possible to learn to DJ on just software? Yes, it is. As long as you start DJing on it, as long as you start performing what you are practicing, as long as you start testing the things that you think might work in front of real people. It doesn't have to be lots of people. It can be 1 person, 2 people, your family and your dog. It doesn't matter, but you should be producing an end result as early as possible. And as long as you're doing that, then it doesn't matter whether you're using software and hardware, or any of the other things I just mentioned. So there's 5 steps to DJing. I've just mentioned 4 of them. The gear, the music, the mixing, the performing, where you actually start DJing, and then success. And success is the one that kind of, it's where it all spreads out from there, because once you've played 1 or 2 DJ sets, you're going to be hooked. Once you've been in a place with other people and done this, you're going to be hooked. So success nowadays means so many things. I mentioned a few of them earlier, all these different ways people are DJing today. You can throw into the mix there producing your own radio shows or live streaming or making mixtapes that you could share with people like in the old days, or just for you to listen to when you're out and about or running or working or whatever. So look, there's loads of things you can do with this skill of DJing once you've learned it. And that's why in our book on DJing, Rock the Dance Floor, we talk about the 5 steps to DJing success, which are exactly that: gear, music, mixing, performing, and success. I'd like you to have a free copy of this book. You can get this by going to the link underneath and joining Digital DJ Tips, the biggest online DJ school. Our community is free to join, and your copy of this book is free as well. There's a link underneath, or go to digitaldjtips.com and click the big join button in the top corner. This has been Phil here in the studio saying, whatever you use, get good, get out there and make the moments. I'll see you soon.